That's right. If you're tired of hearing a bunch of, give us a call at 256-503-4490. We're still out running our special. We can come out, check out your system, make sure it's ready for heating season, and we can do that free gas inspection with that tune-up.
You can also find Talent Heating and Air online at
talenthvac.com.
Don't let any of those other companies jive turkey talk you into expenses you don't need. Give Talent Heating and Air a call today.
I'm pretty sure that you called me a jive turkey.
No, now, Lou. Nobody called anyone a JT.
Jive turkey is a little over the line, my man.
AL cert number 21014.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Everything you need is just a click away.
I should come up sometime, see me.
Okay, almost everything.
Come up, I'll tell you a fortune.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. 977ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome, Army sports fans, from sea to shining sea. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, and this is Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. Tonight, we have Hail, the gang's all here. Steve Cripey to my right, the human Ouija board. Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing well, all things considered.
And to the right of Steve is Tom Economy, Colonel Tom.
Good to be back. Yeah, really excited to talk some Air Force Army football.
We're going to talk some Air Force Army football. Got to do a little business first. You just want to mention that
business. Got to do the business.
Nick's Restaurante, one of our great sponsors. If you'd like a $50 gift certificate, just call 256-576-4977 and leave your name with Jackson, and we will get you a $50 gift certificate to Nick's.
And we have to do that caveat. Previous winners are not eligible to win.
That's right, because we've had previous winners who want that. They want to get that up to the $200 range.
That's right. Get that free meal.
There you go.
And also want to mention North Alabama Mortgage, Brian Hammaker and his team, our great sponsor. I spoke to Brian today, and one thing he said is, interest rates are a little bit up there, but don't be afraid of that right now. Go ahead and see those folks. There's a lot of things they can do to help you out. They can help you refinance your house, eliminate your debt, and also how home prices are kind of stable right now. You could buy one now, refinance later, and you'd still be in good stead. So NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
It's almost as if you've been in the real estate business.
It's almost as if I was was unsuccessfully in the real estate business. So, folks, we're going to talk just a little bit about the game last week.
Was there a game?
Well,
yeah,
some say it was a game where we played number 131 out of 133 massive ranked team in the country, UMass, and lost 21-14. A lot of stuff to
that's lot to unpack there.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll go ahead.
Steve, you can start unpacking.
Yeah, I'll start unpacking it. It disappointment doesn't even begin to point to. I think everybody went in. I know I certainly did. Said, okay, this is our get right game. We've always played UMass tough, and I mean last year we just blew their socks off.
44-7.
Yeah, and that was the expectation. But it just once again we beat ourselves. We beat ourselves with poor tackling and turnovers. I mean 4 turnovers. I mean we matched up with them in total yardage. You take away those 4 turnovers, I think we win the game. But the tackling, it was very uncharacteristic of this defense, even this year.
Tom, what say you there?
I think
Obist Economy.
I think it's interesting. I think actually in a conversation with Joe Ross, he said he thought we lost our identity, and I think to a certain extent that's true. At the we're just coming into our own with this new offense. A quarterback goes down. We go into LSU. We start a freshman who, and he was completely overmatched.
Oh, yeah.
And we took a shellacking at LSU that I don't think anybody could go through and not have some serious questions about who you are. And then we come back against UMass. I think we're still trying to figure it out. I think you can go through and look at all the things. I mean, certainly we didn't tackle well. We didn't execute well on offense. There were 100 things, but I think it's a bigger picture, kind of a carryover from the LSU game, and we gotta figure it out. I mean, we're coming against Air Force. The last thing we have for the season is a Commander-in-Chief's trophy, and we gotta figure out. And I think our seniors have to look at it and say, hey, are we gonna like cowboy up? We're gonna do the things that we need to do to win a Commander-in-Chief's trophy, or are we gonna just let this LSU game define our season?
Well, one thing, and Coach Monken mentioned this, a lot of criticism of the team on our Facebook page for a lot of things, and a lot of criticism about some of the decisions made by the quarterback, Bryson Daly, to throw 2 interceptions in the end zone. And Coach Monken said this, and I agree with this. He said, you can't tell a player not to try to make a play, and that's what Bryson Daly did on the 2-yard pass and on the other pass where he threw it into the end zone. He just tried to make a play, and it didn't work out. But on the other hand, Coach Monken also said, we got to coach these guys a little bit better. They have to know that if the play is not there, do something instead of doing something that's not a very good decision. Throw the ball out of bounds, take a sack, do whatever the case may be.
Settle on a bad play and don't, do the catastrophic play.
And those 2 interceptions in the end zone plus the turnovers, I think that's what killed us.
Yeah, and I will say I don't think it's for lack of effort. I mean the Army teams out there, they're scrapping it up, they're getting after it. But again, there's some critical lapses in the decision making. It's still a disciplined team. They always say the number one barometer of a disciplined team is penalties, and we're number one in the nation, both in number of penalties and penalty yards per game. So it's a disciplined team.
Being limited number.
Being the best.
Yes, limited. Yes,
okay,
the lowest.
Yeah.
But translating that discipline into decision making at those critical junctures, and I'll take an aggressive mistake over a passive mistake. But again, the turnovers are mounting up.
And folks, we are not going to dwell on that. We're going to put it in the rear view.
We're going to keep talking about it all night.
Because no horse is too dead to beat.
Yeah.
Well, this horse has been beaten to death. Coming up, we have running back coach Darren Page, who is coaching an aspect of the team that is working pretty well. And later on, we have Ray Stith, who is a former Army player, and going to tell us some Army Air Force stuff. So we'll be back in a little bit with should be interesting. Crawdad,
hope so.
Back soon.
That's why they're coming back.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
If you work in a dangerous or logistically intense industry, you know good training can be a challenge. There are training costs, safety concerns, and difficulty replicating real-world scenarios. There's a better way used right now in the Army and in all our armed services to better prepare our heroes, and it's available to you in your organizations. Higher Echelon's Game Development Team is revolutionizing learning in military training, dangerous industry, STEM, and sports performance domains with cutting-edge virtual training that immerses you in lifelike scenarios without the cost and safety concerns for trainees. With Higher Echelon's game-based training, you'll experience realistic simulations, precision accuracy, and unparalleled safety. Higher Echelon founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and puts that experience to use. His team has been building cutting-edge virtual training environments for soldiers and clients for a decade. Higher Echelon, the name you can trust for advanced training solutions. Reach out at higherechelon.com to get your free consultation. Go higher and go Army.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have the state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So if you happen to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey Wes, our company Fleming Roofing and Restoration specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey Wes, we show up.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Listen weekday afternoons starting at 5 on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's perfect!
Welcome back, everybody, to Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, alongside Steve Cripey, the human Ouija board, and Tom Economy, Colonel Tom, and we are now joined by a special guest, Army running backs coach Darren Page. Coach, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Man, we couldn't be better.
Well, I think we could be better.
Well, we could
win a lottery, you know. I mean, beat Air Force, you know. We could do a couple of things.
Well, hey, we appreciate you taking a little time to join us tonight. And, the running back room is actually one of the bright spots of the Army team this year. I think we averaged over 5 yards a carry against the UMass Minutemen. And one thing I think our listeners really want to know is it's kind of Kanye Udo is kind of burst on the scene. Tell us a little bit about him and where he came from. And, the last 3 games he's averaging over 100 yards a game.
Yeah, Kanye is special. Again, I appreciate you guys having me, man. This is an honor. I'm excited to be here at Army and coach some running backs. But about Kanye, he's an interesting kid when it comes to just the way he approaches everything. And I think coming from the prep school and then the process of you go through Beast and all those things, and you go through camp, he always was a bright spot, a guy that showed himself to be a hard worker and was really putting in the time, the extra time. And he was able to make the travel squad. He didn't play the first couple of weeks, but he just kept slowly but surely, picking up the offense, picking up the fundamentals and techniques and the little details that I ask of those guys in our offense and what we're doing. And, we got to, it was one of 3 or 4 when it was just like he started, playing 10, 15 plays, and he was doing a good job. And I just want to throw him in there and see what he could do. And it ended up being the Troy game where he played, the most reps he had this season, and he made some mistakes, but it's been really neat to watch him grow and then go about his process, wanting to be critiqued, wanting to be coached, wanting to watch the film, and kind of perfect his craft a little bit. And you could see his love for the game, showing up every day in practice, coming in and spending extra time with me, watching film, and just, picking my brain about, other guys I've coached or other ways that I've coached some of the schemes that we run in our system. And he really is a student of the game, and he's a hungry kid that wants to be great. So it's been neat to see his hard work pay off and his role grow in what we do offensively. Man, I think he's got a bright future.
Yeah, it's always exciting to see a freshman, a plebe, sort of bust on the scene and contribute like that. You mentioned this is your first year at West Point, but you've had quite a few coaching stops along the way. Been at the collegiate level for well over a decade. Sort of compare and contrast. What are the big differences that you have experienced in coaching at West Point as opposed to some of your other college stops?
It's a wonderful place. I mean, it really, really is. And one of my coaching mentors, Daryl Hazel, coached here in the late '80s, and he had said that this is one of his favorite jobs that he ever had. A couple other coaches, John Haycock was another coach I worked with when I was a graduate assistant at Kent State, and they all had great things to say about working here at West Point. So when the opportunity presented itself, it was definitely something I was curious about. And once I learned about it and sat down and met Coach Monken and our staff, it's a bunch of great guys here that are talented, and they put the work in to try to put our best product on the field. So being here is very similar in a lot of ways, but like the experience that you have with the players is different. Now, I always tell people, like, it's different it's very different in a lot of great ways. And one of the things that I pride myself in really enjoy in coaching is the fact that, yes, I get to coach guys hard and challenge them and help them accomplish their goals and dreams in between the lines. But here, you also get the opportunity to mentor these young men through this experience that they're going through here at West Point. And, I remember my first time standing in front of the running back room, introducing myself and, just kind of talking about, what the plans that I had for the unit and how we were going to go about doing it. And, it was I felt honored because I didn't know who I was standing in front of. And I say that because being at West Point and putting in the work that you have to put in to be successful here and to make it here, I think that it provides a foundation for them to do some really great things in the future. And that's probably been, one thing that I've taken from this experience is just I've met so many tremendous people that make an impact on the world. I mean, I met General Williams a couple weeks ago. He was at the game, and it's just so many different distinguished people. And I'm like, I could be standing in front of those guys. Guys could be presidents, they could be astronauts, they could be 3-star generals themselves. So I took a lot of pride in that, and that's something I don't take lightly, with the fact that I have a chance to have an impact on their lives. So the mentor piece of this experience is really, really important to me, and it's something that I've learned a lot from these guys as much as I hope they've learned a few things from me along the way.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, no, that is, Coach. So you talked about the first time you stood in front of them. So when most of them were recruited, they were recruited for completely different offense. And then we come in, you come in, and you're giving them a completely different set. Like what challenges did you have in implementing the change from that wishbone to our current offensive set? Was that a challenge for them to accept, or how did you handle that, I guess would be the better question.
I think the great thing is about our young men, they're super, they were open and receptive to the change. And that's usually the biggest hurdle that guys want to fight against it a little bit because, you're comfortable, you've been used to doing things a certain way. So that once we got over that hurdle, I think it was the fact that I had to build the foundation. Usually, guys have a foundation of, running inside zone and some of the things that we run. But it's so different from what they were used to. Is like I had to start from literally, ground zero fundamentals and techniques and footwork. And, this step goes here. And the reason why you put this step here and this weight distribution has to be here for the timing of, what it is that we're trying to do. And some of these guys hadn't done that since high school. So it was kind of dusting off some old skills that they did have in their bag and just trying to be able to build off of what they already had as well, being able to develop that. Because when I spoke with the offensive staff during my interview, they were like, "You're going to be able to build and develop the running back room." And what I did was it makes me a better coach because I had to really dial down everything that I had been teaching the last few years and really hone in on how I can build a foundation for these guys to be able to build and to grow off of and develop. I think it's been pretty good. The neat thing that I'm seeing now that I haven't seen at my previous stops is that these guys are seriously getting better every single week. I watched the whole unit get better with their fundamentals, their techniques, how we're finishing runs, and you've seen the production pick up with the unit as well, with the guys that are getting opportunities to play. And the competition in the room is really helping, that development. It's kind of expediting that process a little bit. So I think it's been really good. It did take a minute, but I think the guys were so open and willing to work that it made it a easy process.
Well, hey, Coach, we got a couple of minutes left with you, and one thing I'd like to ask is, we have a tough task at hand this week, and I know you've seen the film.
No, it's easy. We got it.
we got this.
We got this, baby. Well, is there anything that you think is that Air Force does that's going to lend itself towards our running game where we can get that going against them and hopefully keep their offense off the field?
I think with them it's the more I learn about the history of these academy games, I think they do give us some things that we can take advantage of. We have to do a great job of executing, and just doing what we do. And like I said, we've progressed every single week. We've gotten better. Sometimes it's not always easy to see, but we've definitely gotten better. And I think that one thing they do a great job of is they limit your opportunities. And I think the one thing that we understand, about the academy games, and this one in particular, is that, we have to make sure that we execute at a high level. And our practices have been really good. Guys are coming in and making sure that they understand the game plan because they understand the importance of not just this game against them, but the importance of us on our side of the ball, executing at a high level and making sure that, we're staying on the field and in our drives with kicks, that's field goals and or punts, So we definitely understand that. So I think that as long as we can do what we do and execute the way we know how to execute, I think we'll be okay.
Well, Coach, we are certainly ones who hope that will go our favor this way.
And do or do not. There is no hope. We got this, Coach. We got great confidence in you.
No, absolutely. We're going to get it done. Like I said, these guys have been working their tails off, understanding our game plan, and we're going to execute at a high level. We're looking forward to this opportunity.
Outstanding.
That's great to hear, Coach.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach,
beat Air Force.
Thanks for your time. Beat Air Force, and let's make this happen this weekend. And, folks, speaking of this weekend, no better time than this to go to Nick's Restaurante. Great place, a driver and a pitching wedge south of the intersection of Bailey Cove and Weatherly for all your eating and drinking needs and fine dining. This is Crawdad, back in a minute.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family-owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle Companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle is known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do after paint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So if you happen to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Listen to the Bama Recap Show each Sunday morning at 11, presented by Freedom Marine Center on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, sitting here with the crew, doing our radio show and also watching the World Series in the background. And you will note here on our telecast on YouTube, we have a new prop here. That's my old tar bucket that never missed a parade because I wasn't like Tom, a Corps Squad get over, or Steve, a high-ranking cadet
Football
officer.
player, you're giving grief to football players?
Really? You're going to go there
really?
on this show?
Well,
yeah, okay. Yeah.
No, I'm not giving grief to
look at that.
football
Yeah,
players.
yeah.
I'm giving grief to you.
Well, there is that. Yeah,
there is that. Well, hey, we're joined by our next guest, and that's Ray Stith. Ray is a former Army football player, return specialist, and defensive back, class of 2006. How you doing, Ray?
Good, gents. How you guys doing tonight?
Well, we
doing well, all in all.
All in all, we're doing okay. We'd be doing a little bit better if we weren't staring a 2-5 record right down the barrel. But thanks for taking a little bit of
time. You on that
one. Yeah, really. Well, tell us a little bit about your career in the football team. I think you were there. You played all 4 years, got playing time as freshman. What was some of the highlights of your career with a focus on the Air Force game, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So I will say you're right. I did get an opportunity to play all 4 years. Great experience. Unfortunately for me, in the 4 seasons I played, we didn't do a whole lot of winning up at West Point. But you talk about highlights. My senior year, we did get out to Colorado Springs and beat Air Force at Colorado Springs.
Nice.
And I don't know the exact number, but I think it was the first time Army had beaten Air Force at Colorado in maybe 20-plus years at that point in time. So it was a pretty big win for us as a team, and obviously it was one of those deals where we broke a not so good record.
Nice. So what? Yeah, I've heard various stories from different Army football players, and what that Army Air Force game is like, and it's rarely complimentary of the Air Force players. What was your overall, I guess, assessment of your opposition during those Army Air Force games?
Yeah, I will say Air Force historically, when we played as well, they put a really good team out on the field. So you were always playing against some pretty good football players. And unlike the Navy rivalry, you wanted to beat Air Force. You obviously want to beat Air Force badly. We would say it flies and dies sort of thing while we were there. But, there was a different level of competition. I wouldn't say respect, but just a different level of competition when you played against those Air Force teams. It was just a different product on the field.
So you talked about the about Navy and about Air Force. Is there, if you could characterize the difference in the game between Air Force and between Army and Navy and Army and Air Force, is there a fundamental difference in how you approach those games or how you feel about the opponents?
Yeah, the Navy rivalry is just the Navy rivalry is just such a big thing. I mean, it permeates West Point. I mean, every game, first game of the season, right? You got 11 more to go, and you're yelling "Beat Navy" at the end of the game after you sing. We don't walk around yelling "Beat Air Force," right? That's just not what you do. So there's definitely a different hype and feel around the game. When you go play Air Force, like I said, you know what you're going to get in terms of the type of players they put out there. They're going to be a well-coached team. When you play Navy, you don't care about any of that. You just want to beat them, and you just want to beat them bad, and you want them to feel it when it's all said and done.
Well, hey, Ray, I know your background, neither you nor your family were of military types. So what drew you to the U.S. Military Academy to play football and be a cadet?
Chance to beat Navy.
I don't want to – I guess I'll be transparent here. I was a very naive 17, 18-year-old kid, right? I think a lot of us are at that age. And so when I left high school and I was getting recruited, my main focus was playing football. What 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid thinks about the education and the career afterwards? The career is supposed to be the NFL, right? That's what we all think. And so it was what school is going to let me play football. And I was not big in college. I think the heaviest I was ever stepping on the football field was 178 pounds as a college senior. So you can imagine I wasn't very big going into college either. And so a lot of schools told me, you need to sit on the sideline for a year or two, get bigger, faster, stronger, and then come out and compete for a role, compete for a job on the field. And Coach Todd Berry sat across from me on my recruiting visit and told me, we play the best players, and if you're the best player, you're going to play as a freshman. And I was like, where do I sign?
Done.
Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of thought on next steps. My mom and dad came with me on that visit. They loved everything that the academy represented. And so you can make mom and dad happy, and you can get a chance to play as a freshman. That's all I cared about. And then once I got to West Point, I realized, oh, boy, I signed up for something that's a big deal here, huh?
Oh, that's a great story. Great perspective as well. So you look at the state of the current Army team right now, struggling, and probably as you sort of characterize your time, your 4 years with Army football, and those were some lean years during Coach Todd Berry's tenure there. So you're coach for a week. They send you up to the academy. Based on what you experienced and having to get up for each game, wondering if you're going to be competitive. What would you say to the Army team going into the Air Force game?
Oh boy, you got to hit me with a big question.
Jump into the deep end of the pool here.
I know. Well, first and foremost, I will say that I am a believer. I mean, you can put me in the fan club. I am a Jeff Monken believer. I think Coach Monken has done a great job with the program.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think if anybody's going to get this 2-5 team to come out on Saturday and play hard, it's going to be Jeff Monken and his staff. So that piece I'm not too worried about. I think what I would try to remind these players now that, they are a part of an era of Army football where they're a good football team. They're a good football program. They expect highly of themselves, and us as alumni and fans have high expectations as well because they have proven that they can do it. And so it would just be a reminder of, guys, just go out and be who you know you are. Go play football. Coaches are going to put you in the right spot to win on a play-by-play basis, and go be the program that you joined and that you've been for the last 8 or 9 years as Army football.
Well, hey,
that's outstanding.
Ray, a question I would have for you. I know you were a team captain, you were an air defense artillery officer, you a battery commander, you were deployed to a combat zone in Afghanistan. What did your experience as a West Point football player, particularly as a team captain, how did that enhance those, and also your years as a corporate leader? How did your experience bleed over into all that?
It's meant everything. I think the biggest compliment that I wouldn't say the biggest, one of the biggest compliments I ever received in my life was being selected as team captain at West Point. Because you think about an institution that breeds leaders, that builds leaders, that prides itself on leaders, and being considered a leader of leaders. It was the biggest honor one could ever be given. And so walking into a new platoon as a platoon leader, standing in front of a platoon as a platoon leader in combat, standing in front of 170 soldiers in the battery. Since I was 18 years old, I've been taught this is what you do. You lead from the front, and you give your troops your best. And then to be the football captain, to have that responsibility put on your shoulders, I mean, to be honest, that other stuff has been pretty easy, because kind of like I would tell the team, I'm being who I am. I'm not trying to be anybody different. I'm not trying to fake it. I'm not trying to figure it out. This is who I've been for over half my life, and if I can't do this well, then I'm probably not going to be successful because this is just me. So if I can't be me very well, then probably can't do anything else very well either.
Yeah. So following up with that, I mean, looking back, from your time, say as a battery commander, and you're looking back as your time as a team captain, you draw those parallels. But as your time as a team captain or on the Army football team, do you think it resonates with them, their roles, that their future roles as being leaders? Do you think that that factors into their thought process going into, say, a game with Air Force?
I don't think so. I think everybody there has an understanding. I'd make the comparison to being a parent. People can tell you what being a dad is like all day long, and until you're responsible for another human being, you got no clue what you get yourself into.
Good point.
And so I think it's the same there. I think they know what they're getting themselves into. I think they know the magnitude of leadership. I think they know the magnitude of Air Force, but it's just different when you step on that field. If it's your first time, remember the last 2 years have been played here where I live in DFW, so a lot of those players haven't been out to Falcon Stadium in Colorado Springs yet. They don't know what the altitude feels like. They're in for a different experience up there. But as I said before, this is who they are. They're a good football program. They have the talent. They have the coaching. They just got to go execute and let the chips fall where they may.
Well, we are certainly hoping that they can execute this week. And one little technical question to ask is, last game, I'm sure you watched it, our tackling was not that good. What do you think is the problem with us on our tackling now? It's just not been there.
That's a really good question. I'm a defense guy, playing defensive back, so I pay a lot more attention to the defense than I do the offense. And once again, the reason I have such faith in the coaching staff is because not every play, but most plays, you see guys in the right spot. They're coached to be in the right spot. They're where they're supposed to be. They just don't execute. And so I think it's just focus. I think it's focus. They know how to tackle, and they've been coached to be in the right spot. Now, I will say there's some broken coverages back there. The former DBM kind of like, what are you guys doing back there? Like, you need this old 40-year-old man to get back there. And I mean, I can get beat that bad at 40. No, I'm joking. Those kids are way better than me. But yeah, I think honestly it's just a focus thing for them. I think that's really what it is. I think that a big game like Air Force, coming off of what I would consider to kind of be I hate to use the word trap game, but leaving Baton Rouge, playing against one of the best teams in the country, going against UMass, who, for all intents and purposes, we should have beaten.
Mm-hmm.
And, we should have been a better football program than. I think coming off a trap game, I think this is time to refocus. I think the coaches will put that in them of, you guys got out of focus last week, and it's time to turn it back on. And I'm hopeful that we're going to see a really strong showing from Army on Saturday.
All right, well, hey, we're going to let you go, but you got to give us a pick.
All right. Of course, I'm going with my Black Knights. I'm going to say a low-scoring game. I think Army scores 24 points, and Air Force scores 21. I say 24-21 Army.
Well, hey, you know more about it than most people, so we hope
We're
you're
with
right.
you. That's good.
Hey, Ray, thanks for your time.
Yeah, great chatting
really
with you.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Great chat.
Tell Joe Ross hello, and we will get out of here and come back in a few minutes to talk a little bit about the challenge ahead with the U.S. Air Force Academy.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at GenSuperstore.com.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Buongiorno, Tom Chapman from Nick's Ristorante here with Chef Joey Kindred. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
Seriously? So what's so great about being chef at Nick's?
Serving award-winning 21-day aged certified Angus beef, fresh seafood, and third-generation Italian family recipes.
That and an awesome owner, right?
So, if I say yes, do I get a raise?
No. What else should people know about Nick?
We showcase local musicians and have a cigar-friendly bar and bistro.
Time to put you on the spot, Chef. What's the phone number?
256-489-8280.
What's the website?
NicksRestaurante.com.
And what are the hours?
Doors open at 5 o'clock, Tuesday through Saturday. Dining room closes at 9. Bar closes depending on volume.
Molto bene, Chef. It's time to say goodbye, Joey.
Goodbye, Joey.
Come on, man.
Okay, how's this? Ciao e buon appetito.
Nice. Horrible accent, but nice. So again, please come see us at Nick's. Can't wait to see you there.
Nick's is for patrons 19 or older.
If you work in a dangerous or logistically intense industry, you know good training can be a challenge. There are training costs, safety concerns, and difficulty replicating real-world scenarios. There's a better way used right now in the Army and in all our armed services to better prepare our heroes, and it's available to you in your organizations. Higher Echelon's Game Development Team is revolutionizing learning in military training, dangerous industry, STEM, and sports performance domains with cutting-edge virtual training that immerses you in lifelike scenarios without the cost and safety concerns for trainees. With Higher Echelon's game-based training, you'll experience realistic simulations, precision accuracy, and unparalleled safety. Higher Echelon founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and puts that experience to use. His team has been building cutting-edge virtual training environments for soldiers and clients for a decade. Higher Echelon, the name you can trust for advanced training solutions. Reach out at higherechelon.com to get your free consultation. Go higher and go Army. Football season and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison.
Hi, this is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Join us every week for Alabama football right here.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, and this is the final segment of Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. And before we get started, just do this. Do us a big favor for our sponsors. Go get your mortgage needs solved with North Alabama Mortgage with Brian Hammaker and his team, and then go down to Nick's and celebrate. Couldn't ask for a better way to do it. Well, folks, we've got our hands full this week. We're playing the Air Force Academy. They're actually the number 25 ranked team in the college football playoff rankings. They would actually, were the 12-team playoff to be today, they would be in it, which is interesting. Never seen them in that position before. And I know, Steve, you do your statistical analysis, your green sheet, as I call it, and it looks like last week's, except it was all green in favor of Army and nothing in favor of UMass. Now it's the other way around for Air Force.
Yeah, I mean, the summary is, we're in the midst of an Army football season where the team is struggling, and that shows up statistically. Yeah, we're, for those of us that have seen that the sheet, I put bottom 25% in the FBS are in red, and I can't remember a recent season where I'm seeing so much red on the Army side. And unfortunately, a lot of those weaknesses where we've been struggling correspond to a strength on the part of Air Force. Classic example, we're 116th in the nation in rushing defense, giving up almost 156 yards a game, and Air Force is number one in the nation. So you look at that, but but in years past, even when we've been favored in some of these inter-service academy games, and I show, wow, we're way ahead. It's looking good for us, and everybody says throw the statistics out, and that is true. We could probably spend the rest of the evening, just recounting whether it's Army, Navy, or Army Air Force, where the odds didn't favor us or didn't favor whatever, and it just doesn't translate to the field because of the emotion and the importance of this game.
Yeah, I'd go with that. I think there's a couple of, it's almost a perfect storm. Air Force has a plethora of 5th and 6th year seniors. Go figure that on a
on a service academy.
At a service academy, it's got 6th year seniors. So by all rights, they ought to be playing well, and they are. And you take an Army team who's trying to figure out a new offense, figuring out who their identity is, and I'd say if you were betting, I'd probably bet on Air Force, but it's a service academy game, And the reason that Coach Monken instituted this new offense was because whatever it is, the last 8 to 10 service academy games between Air Force and Navy, there was no offense, essentially no offense generated. And his intent is to generate some offense in this situation. And, I think if Tyson Daly is able to play, man, I like our chances. And I think that when he plays, I think our defense tackles better, plays with more energy. I think it's just a whole different game. I'm not exactly sure why it didn't work last week against UMass, but, I'm not everything's stacked against us this week, but I'm still exceptionally optimistic about Army's chances against Air Force.
Well, I think we're perfectly set up for a great upset. And I think it's going to be a great upset. Air Force, they're leading the country in rushing with over 300 yards a game. They're, I think, number 1 in time of possession. They're number 2 in fewest penalties, only behind Army. So we got a tall order.
Yeah, but sort of taking what comments both of you have made, I think things are lining up. I mean, right now, I think we're going to see Army more motivated than they've been in any other game. Because at this point in the season, the only measure of success is, beating Navy, number 1, beating both the Academy, Commander-in-Chief's Trophy.
And it's on the line, right? I mean,
exactly.
If Air Force wins, they got the Commander-in-Chief Trophy.
That is in play. And so this but at the same time, the pressure is on Air Force. And one of the best news that came out prior to this game is Air Force is number 25 in the college football playoff ranking. Oh, yeah. So that's got them thinking, hey, and I hope they're reading all the press out there that is touting they could be the group of 5 representative on New Year's Day Bowl. And so, but they realize the only way they stay in the mix is they've got to be unbeaten at the end of the year.
Well, they're taking that old Nick Saban rat poison, and I hope they're just gobbling it up like a rat in a trap. And I do think also, Steve, that's a good thing because they may have the big head and say, hey, these guys can't play with us. And if they look at the films from last week, they'll probably say, what have they got going? Well, we got a lot going. We've had some injuries. Bryson, not Tyson Daly.
Okay. Whatever his name is. Whatever that kid's name is.
Whatever his name is. He's coming off an injury. I don't think he was 100% in the UMass game. Champ Harris, his backup, played pretty good. And, by the way, we had 362 yards of total offense against UMass. So we can still generate some stuff. We had 5 backs, average over 5 yards per carry.
Yeah, and I think, again, it's going to be about, back in the day when we were struggling, what do you got to do to win? And we, boiled down to the basics, minimize the penalties, eliminate the turnovers and execute. It sounds cliche-ish, but I think it's not a question of do they not know what to do? Do they not know how to tackle it? Do they not know what they need to do on a specific play? No, they know what to do, but it's a focus, execute like they're capable of, and this could be something we look at going forward where we see that this was a turning point in Army team, the integration of the new offense and what, really setting a trajectory for the path forward of the program.
I think it's just we get to define our season, right?
Yeah, that identity that you talked about earlier.
No, I think we look at this, we could come out of this and we could get beat by Air Force 42-0 or 40, whatever. Or we could cowboy up, play Army football, no turnovers, no penalties, do whatever it is that we need to do, and I think we got a good chance of winning the football game. But we got to figure out which Army team's going to show up.
All right, guys, we got a minute left. Steve, give me a prediction.
Okay, I sincerely think the only way we win this thing, just let me preface it, betting with my heart or head, I'm struggling here. I'm going to go with my heart here. But I think the only way we win is it's a low-scoring game. So I'll pick Army 17-14.
I don't know that it has to be a low-scoring game. I'll say it's 31-21.
Well, Steve, I actually had the exact same number in my head, and I completely agree with you.
You guys are wrong. I'll just point that out now.
If somebody gets to 20 points, we got a problem. We've got to do a typical Air Force Army game low scoring.
They ain't seen our offense yet. We're going to put some points on the board.
Well, I'm going to say 17-14. Tom, how many days do we have?
Bill, there's 38 in a bud days until Army beats the hell out of Navy at Gillette Field in Foxborough, Massachusetts.
Okay, folks, and remember you can listen to the game right here on WZZN. And also, as we always say, no matter where you are and no matter what you're doing, there's a soldier, sailor, airman, or Marine standing a watch right now in these troubled times so you can enjoy the great life you have in this country. Go Army.
Beat Air
Navy.
Force.
Beat Air Force and Navy. See you next week. Crawdad out.